All right. We're here for our weekly office hours. How you guys doing? You guys good?
Hey, welcome
Hey.
people. Good.
I'm good. I'm good. I
should
prepared
probably-
like hours and hours and hours for my presentation, so I'm good.
Part of me thinks that you're full of it and doesn't think you're prepared for hours and hours and hours.
I don't know.
I feel like maybe you're feeding us a line with your hours and hours and hours talk.
Maybe.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, today we're broadcasting on my YouTube, which is weird because YouTube wouldn't let us go on the Scully YouTube channel yet. They're the Hero Devs YouTube, so whatever. We'll just deal with it. Whatever. Next week we'll be on the Hero Devs YouTube channel though, so that'll be nice. We're here to talk about Scully. For anyone listening in the chats, hello. If you could, I know we got a couple people watching. Go ahead and say where you're from, just so that we know, hey, where we got, who we got, and where you're from. We wanted to spend a few minutes and kind of talk through a couple of things going on. One cool thing is we've got over 3,500 weekly downloads on Scully, right?
Nice.
Up from a year ago. Where were we a year ago?
0.
I mean, a year ago we were at 0 because we didn't even exist, right? So
Yeah.
So, but even over the summer, it was in like 1,000. You know,
I remember 6 months ago, the first K. No, not the first
Yeah.
K.
no,
maybe?
yeah,
Not
no,
even.
yeah. I remember when we hit 1,000, then over the summer we stagnated, and it was all of a sudden like people's kids went back to school in August, and we started going up. So anyway, hey, we got Adam Hill here. So Adam from Calgary, thanks for coming. Thanks for checking in. We've got Rafa.
Rafa.
And
Rafa.
Rafa, our faithful followers. So yeah. Anyway, we're at 3,500 weekly downloads, which is pretty cool in my opinion. We've got 1,674 stars, so that keeps growing as well. Every star helps us. So if you're listening and you haven't starred yet, go ahead and star and let us know you're following. But yeah, also give us some tweets, give us some follow on Twitter at Scully. But yeah, so that's going on. I kind of wanted to give people a rundown of what we went over in stand up this morning, Sander, where you kind of said, "Hey, this is what I'm working on. This is the new stuff going out in Scully." So I'm gonna do you care if since you're presenting there, do you care if I go over that a little bit?
No, go over it.
Okay. So we've got this week we spent some time working on the documentation, right? And so we've realized, hey, we could have the greatest pre-rendering solution on earth, but if our docs aren't up to par, then it doesn't really matter how great the solution is. And so we've spent some time focusing on the documentation and adding some tests around it because we've had some scenarios which don't make any sense, that one day the link works and the next day the link doesn't work. So Sander spent a lot of time writing tests around the documentation as well, so that we know, hey, stuff didn't disappear. And we're using snapshots for these tests in Jest, which are really, really cool because they allow us to just say, hey, is this stuff the same as it was last time? And if it is, then we're good to go. So
Yeah, not for the documentation anymore though.
You got rid of the Jest for the documentation.
Not
We
for,
only
not
do that
in
for the
Jest,
build. Okay,
for the snapshots.
gotcha.
Because snapshots are not really suited for documentation. If anyone just adds a lot or correction, you don't want the test to fail.
Yeah, that
One
makes
new
sense.
word, it's one new snapshot.
Yeah. Every new word is a new snapshot. Yeah, that makes sense. We still use heavily snapshots in our actual tests, but maybe not on the doc site, sounds like. Okay. For anyone who's watching, if you want to join, down at the bottom of the live stream here, right, just kind of down here, we've got a link kind of scrolling across the bottom, which is the link if you want to join our live stream. You can feel free to click in there, and you'll
It's also in the YouTube description.
It is. I added it to the YouTube description, so it's also in the YouTube description so that you can join and ask any questions. Well, I just added Mike Brocky. Anyone listening, cool thing is Mike Brocky's now on Hero Devs. So Mike Brocky's an official hero devser. He's got HD, and he's here to help us grow Scully. He's here to help us grow XLTS, and he's here to help us grow the team. So, Mike, welcome to the Scully team, bruv.
Bravo.
Thank you. I didn't have my microphone in front of me, so much better.
There you go. There you go. Okay. So we've got that out of the way. Then just to kind of let everyone know kind of where we're at as far as features, we've got a solid amount of issues on GitHub. If you were like, hey, I wonder what they're working on, you can go check out our issues on GitHub, and we have them on a ZenHub board where we rank them and we've got them sorted in order. So we've got a bunch of tickets around documentation and some features that we're working on adding. However, there's a feature that we're the most excited about. And then once I'm done talking about this, I swear, Sander, I'm turning the time over to you. And that feature is it's a feature that will be part of what will be called Scully Enterprise. And so as Scully renders your websites, hey, we got Manuel Chacon from Nuevo Mexico. Welcome, Manuel. Thanks for coming. We've got anyway, as Scully renders your websites, it basically launches a browser and says and then the Angular app in that browser goes ahead and makes all the requests that your app makes. True? Anyway, you have to point Scully at a certain environment. Like you have to say, hey, feel free to go to my staging environment or my production environment and make these requests. And sometimes people, as part of their CI/CD runs Scully, sometimes their CI/CD can like threaten their production environment because it's like, oh, it just rendered 500 pages in like just a few seconds, and their production environment can feel like they're getting DDoS. Like their users will see a slowdown during the builds. And if you're doing 30 or 40 builds a day, which most companies are, right, in the CI/CD, some companies are like hundreds of builds every single day. So that can get pretty taxing for your server. So we're focusing on building a caching layer so that Scully will cache those calls and only refresh them once a day, so that as the Angular app requests out to those endpoints, the Puppeteer instance intercepts those, returns the cached versions of the API calls, so that and that will do two things. A, it will speed up your build, but B, it will protect your production environment from getting killed every time. So every time the build runs. So it'll be really nice. Anyway, those are that's one of the features that we're really, really excited about building as a team. Am I wrong? Sander shook his head yes. Sander shook his head yes. So I'm wrong.
Yes, you are not.
Yeah, you're completely wrong. I don't love building stuff like that at all. Oh, wait, I do.
Okay, sarcasm. Okay, cool. I see it again. Took me a second. Yeah, so we're definitely excited about this feature. Because we name things after heroes here. Scully's named after a hero. We call this Project Deadpool internally. We're excited to get working on Project Deadpool. So anyway, without further ado, I'm going to let Sander take over. He's got an experiment with Scully and Angular that he wants to show off, and so we're excited to let Sander kind of take the stage and teach people, hey, how would you do Angular plus Scully to get some, and plus Markdown to get some stuff. So here we go, Sander. Go ahead, man. I'm gonna let you present. So go ahead and share your screen.
I was just doing that. You need to add it.
Oh yeah. Add to stream, and then
there we go.
There we go. No. There we go. How do I make that bigger though? And we'll just go your full screen. Is that deal? Is that good?
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay. Go ahead, man.
Okay. On the bottom over here, I have a little presentation. I have my clicker over here, and I can go over my slides. Which is not that impressive.
On that. You're just clicking on that. Okay, got it.
Clicking on that.
Okay.
So you see, I have a little presentation on the bottom. I kept it in a small window for purpose.
Yeah. Yeah. You got some code examples. It looks like I saw console log.
If you look over here, I have like an editor in here, and I
Mhm.
can go to like a fancy editor if I want to.
Ooh, that's fancy, bro.
Yeah, that's really fancy. And it's also killing my... It's not bug-free just yet.
Okay. So that thing on the right is updating the Markdown file that we're seeing on the left.
Exactly. If you can
Okay.
see, it is just a file. In my slides folder, I have like a couple of them, which is
Okay.
just basic Markdown
It's your basic Markdowns. Yep.
with like a little bit of front matter in there. It should be title, not title. Okay. The slides.
It's okay, bro. We understand.
I hope so.
Tilty.
Probably copy pasted that in all my samples.
Okay.
So I have a little server running on the background that basically communicates between my website and my website editor and my files. I also can just go over here and say, a simple way. Let's do it like this. Save it, reload.
Refresh the slide. Simple
And-
slides. And it doesn't say a simple way. It hates
No.
us.
It hates me. It's the demo gods.
Yeah. Come
Yeah.
on, demo gods.
It is
Come
throwing
on,
off half
man.
of my slides anyway. Well,
Yeah. It's just actually the first one, it looks like.
I think I zoomed out a little bit too much. It hates me. That's
Do you
just
have
it.
you have a error in your Markdown that the Markdown didn't compile?
That
Take away the exclamation point.
I have an error in my Scully. On the background, I'm running Scully to process this thing,
Okay.
and I'm running in watch mode,
And that has an error.
and that had an error. I just fixed that. So if I reload now,
Hello.
there we go.
Okay.
There we
cool.
go.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
The nice thing is, though, I'm running this in a way so that I can totally work on my slides. Because like Markdown is nice to edit content, but it isn't as nice to format. So I can go to my slip and slide project and say, okay, I'm going to my view slide, and I have some CSS here. And I might change something here, like, okay, I want to
Red.
have like red. It doesn't
Not
understand.
hashtag red. There you go.
Good.
Okay.
Updates on the fly
Okay.
think-
Because it's an
I
Angular
think-
project.
because it's an Angular project. And I'm running this from ng-serve. It's running on 4200.
So you have Markdown preprocessing happening with ng-serve thanks to Scully. You have the Markdown preprocessing happening. Perfect.
Yeah, it's completely. I hate it.
That's awesome.
So basically, it's the beginning of the thing. I'm setting this up basically because I hate doing slides. I love doing Angular.
Mhm.
This combines like doing Angular, have the content in Markdown, and on the end of it, I can just run Scully and have all the slides as HTML, which I can hand out to the people that are interested in the slides. I don't think
Yeah.
anyone is interested in this particular deck, but
Yeah.
if you have an interesting deck, Also, I'm thinking about adding a little plugin to write out PDF files from the slides.
Gotcha. Now, someone who's watching may get really excited because they think I can put an Angular component into my Markdown and have a slide that's got an Angular component in it. We don't have that yet, do we?
I don't have it running in here,
Yeah.
but yes, we have that.
Okay.
Because if you, this is HTML. If you do my component here,
Yeah.
component, it will be embedded. I don't have to save it in my browser.
Yeah, but it won't
will
be
be
compiled and ran, will it?
No, not by the Markdown, but if you make it an Angular element, it will recognize it and it will be displayed in your slide. I'm a little bit rusty about Angular elements, so I'm not comfortable creating one on the fly. But yes, it is possible to use like an Angular element in here. So yes, you can use Angular elements in here. One of the things I'm going to add is something to view from the source. You see, I have this little editor in here that can read from my source folder because it's actually reading the files directly from my file system. It cannot only read slides. I can also have it read like my TypeScript files. And I can say, hey, from this file, I want to show lines 10 to 15. And then I'm displaying my source code directly in my slides.
Do me a favor. I want to show off a feature that it's kind of a hidden feature inside Scully. It's our super powered Markdown that we have. You know how we added a couple extra features on top of Markdown?
Oh yeah.
Can you show people how to add a class to like a title, just so that they can get extra classes on things?
Do we do that on titles?
I thought we did it on anything. Don't we?
Didn't we only do that on links?
I don't know. Someone just yelled the S word.
Yeah. I'm going to be silently into my corner now.
Mike, did one of your kids yell the S word, Mike?
There's some schooling going on.
Someone yelled the S word. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I don't care. Show us how to do it. I want people to see, hey, some of the cool Markdown stuff. By the way, that editor is way too small. None of us can see that. You need to zoom way in.
Yeah, the problem is if I zoom in here, my slide down there also zooms in.
Well, maybe edit it in the Markdown file then?
That's perhaps easier.
Over the editor? Yeah.
Hey, but the cool thing is the editor.
Yeah.
I built this cool thing. I want to use it also. Well, but okay.
So we don't need paymore-slide.com.
No, just
different slides. Okay, we can do
link to something. Yeah. Yeah. Scully.io. Yep. So now we got a link.
And then we do, I think, is it class colon or?
Yeah, class colon. Awesome. Yeah.
Okay, now we go over to the styles thing.
So you can add the style in the Markdown too.
Oh yeah, you could just add a style tag right there in the Markdown.
Yeah.
And for anyone watching, Markdown doesn't normally support adding classes to things.
True.
What shall I do with it?
Background red. I don't know, but when I need to something, I put background red.
Yeah, because you can see it easily. So go ahead and save and get a refresh going.
I killed my Again.
Oh, you killed that. That's dead. Scully server's dead.
That's not that.
S link.
Yeah, that's the previous one I did.
S link. Come on, punk. Anyway, sorry. Hey, I derailed your presentation trying to show off a feature that should exist.
It does exist, but while converting slide content for slide 0. Oh, okay. It's perhaps it is this.
I think background you have a typo.
I think it wasn't the colon, it was this.
Let me check.
But the CSS one to be applied anyway because it's growled instead of background.
That might help also. Background.
Ground, yeah.
Background.
Spelling's hard though. You know, it's one of those things that even though you can write code doesn't mean you can spell, right?
Or type. Come on, slide 0 is there now. It's there.
Come on. Are you sure it's equals?
That.
Yeah.
In my mind, colon makes more sense, but I'm not positive there.
If I put in a colon, it doesn't compile by Scully. It gives an error, so it's not colon.
Check, Sander. You need to put. I add you in the chat.
Which chat?
With chat.
Private chat.
Private chat. Colon.
That's it.
And I think I need you put an extra space.
Put a space after the colon?
No.
Save. Okay, there we go. So it is definitely not background red.
But at least it is there now. Let's
True.
inspect the thing. Inspect. Oh, it has an ID now.
Yeah. So get rid of the ID.
It doesn't have an ID. It has like.
Class and ID. Yeah. No.
Get rid of the hashtag.
No. Yeah. Remove the hashtag and put a dot.
Dot
it's
awesome.
a class. Yeah.
Okay, now refresh.
Inspect. No, it gives me the dot, so it's probably
space dot. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it's probably space dot awesome.
Space, yeah. Space dot awesome.
Dot awesome.
Space. So I copy you in the private chat.
Just put a dot there instead of delete that. And put a dot.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. Okay. And change the space Alboro. And awesome. Yeah, good. Sometimes it's the normal thing when you give a presentation. You know, all the typos you can make, you make.
Yeah.
It is doing something. Look, there is dot special here, but shouldn't it be
class colon? I don't know, dude. It's not. Whatever it is, we have it. We don't have documentation for it, so you might as well not care about it. Anyway,
we should have some documentation for this.
Yeah, we should, but we don't. Anyway, let's move on.
Okay.
I think everyone got the hint. We'll come back on this one next office hours. Deal, Jorge?
Yes, promise.
Jorge's going to show us next week how to do classes in Markdown.
I promise. I
right.
will read the
So-
style sheet.
So Sander, let me ask you a question then. So if I had a bunch of Angular elements inside this project, I could embed Angular elements into my slides just like this simple.
It's this simple, yes.
Okay. So yeah, so you could actually write your slides in Angular.
You can write your slides in Angular. You can write your special effects in Angular. You can write your transitions in Angular, whatever you fancy. I'm just providing you with an easy way to edit the content and put it in. And I have like the view slides is basically...
And you added a global click handler, I'm guessing, that supports
which is
the
basically
clicker.
in the view slides, which is just key handling, arrow right,
Yep.
arrow left.
Yeah. Okay.
This is like the first try of the code. I'm probably going to move it to from event and clean it up like a proper thing instead of
Add
this.
a host listener. Add host listener. Yeah. That will help.
Yeah, no, I'm not using a host listener because I'm not actually listening to the host, but I'm listening to document because I want to catch all the clicks on in the thing. But yeah, it's as simple as that. It is just an Angular application, so anything you can do. And here is the view slide, and it is just Scully content.
Which Scully knows how to replace with Markdown.
Yeah, and I even nested it. And that explains a bug I was having like earlier on.
There you go. Well, cool. So essentially, I can take this project, write my slides in Angular and Markdown. And if I want to put Angular in my Markdown, I can use Angular elements.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's cool stuff, man. Do you have a link to the repo? Do you want to show the repo? So
it's my sample repo. It's still in a branch. I will make like a proper thing. I'm thinking about making this an NPM module. You can just install in any Angular application.
And
then you have like the editor and the slides thing.
That's a
I
fun
need to
little
clean
project.
it up a little bit.
Yeah, you should open source it so people can contribute back to it and make it more powerful, right?
Yeah, it is.
That's crazy.
It is on my samples GitHub repo. That is already public. So if you want to take a peek, you can.
And I know, Frosty, you're smitten with the idea of having an Angular element re-rendered within there, but just take a step back at the whole thing that we're talking about, defining a separate Markdown file and taking the rendered output of that Markdown into HTML and rendering it inside of an Angular application.
Yeah.
That has benefits as well, not just for contents for a slide display, but any type of content. It's basically the whole idea of the blog post of taking dynamic content and rendering it inside, but anything that you want to do, any type of content.
This is a basic CMS.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So we've provided simple CMS support for a long time, right? With markdowns and routing and stuff like that. We've had that for a while, true?
Yeah,
but
we have that for a while.
What Sanders is wired up is he's wired up a click listener so you can use it as a slide deck, and he's added he's integrated with the Scully server so that on the fly the Scully server processes your markdown for you, and the Scully content replaces the Scully content tag with whatever it finds up on the server. So yeah, it's a couple pieces glued together. It's actually not that much glue. The really innovative thing you did was creating your own editor that then syncs those changes down to the file system, that then makes the ng serve reserve and refresh the Angular.
The only special bit I did was I created a little node server that has no dependencies whatsoever. That is just there to serve your folder.
It's just Node. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't bring in anything else. It doesn't have any peer dependencies or direct dependencies.
No, it's just Node with like a couple of lines of code, and it is I thought there was something like that available, and I spent more time finding one than I spent building it.
Gotcha. So for me, the URL on your browser is too small. Can you post into the private chat and then I'll post it on YouTube, the link to this samples? There we go. Okay. Copying, and I will paste that over into the comments. So we've got that. If anyone wants to check this out, they can head over to Sander's GitHub, and it looks like it's in his samples branch or his samples repo.
Yeah,
So-
my samples repo is basically my mono repo where I do all my private stuff.
Gotcha.
And I'm moving more and more into that. A couple of my other libraries are in there too.
Gotcha. Cool. So yeah, that answers Santiago's question. But yeah, well, this is cool, Sander. Thanks for playing around with this and doing this. Hopefully someone can grab this, and maybe at a couple conferences we can see some Angular based slide decks based on Scully. If you do, be prepared to come back and present for us, because we're going to want to see whatever you do with Scully to make your slide decks happen, because this is cool.
Yeah, present both sides. Present what you've done with Scully for the slides, and as well as the presentation that you're doing too. Both could be cool.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's cool. Good job, Sander. Thanks for sharing that. I want to see, is there anyone on the YouTube chat? There's a couple people watching. Does anyone want to join the live stream and ask a question? Because if you do, now would be the time we can just add you over here onto the StreamYard. And again, the link it's scrolling across the bottom. Brocky, can you point down at the link that's scrolling? Jorge?
Yes.
Yeah.
Here.
Yep, the link that's scrolling across the bottom.
No. Check.
There it
So
is.
one
Okay.
one good thing, one good news really to say is we are supporting the latest Angular version with TypeScript 4.
Okay. Did we add that this
So-
week?
Yes, today, this morning. This my morning, the noon of Sander. Your
gotcha.
really early day. We support now TypeScript 4 with the last things from Angular and TypeScript.
Nice.
So if you have any problem in your new app with Angular and Scully, you can download the new schematic and rerun all, and this will work perfect.
Gotcha. Cool. That's awesome.
I
Did we
miss
rev?
you. I know. I don't know if
Can you hear me?
Brogy, Sander, can you hear Frosty?
Yeah.
Okay, I miss you. No.
Brocky, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear. I was talking to my daughter.
Jorge can't hear me. I like Jorge. I want more Jorge, but he can't hear me, so whatever.
Or
So
he's just being dumb.
no one wants to join. No one wants to join. No one wants to get on here and ask questions. That's cool. We're here for that. Sander, you got your Twitter account up on here. We got ESO Sander Elias. If anyone wants to reach out to Sander, get up there and tweet him. I'm at Aaron Frost. Go ahead and tweet at me. Brocky hasn't put his Twitter handle on his thing because
I was going to edit it, but I didn't see where to edit it. So
Yeah, you can't only when you enter.
only
There's
when
no
you're
editing the
Oh,
thing.
wait. I got it. I got it.
You got it?
Yeah.
Really?
All right. So anyway, Brocco, you can reach out to, and then you got Jorge Ucano, @ Jorge Ucano, at Jorge Ucano. Feel free to reach out to him there. Any questions, we're here to help.
If you don't want to jump into the stream to join the video, type your questions.
Yeah, feel
Keep
free to
an eye
type
out
your
for that.
questions, on the YouTube, and we'll bring them up here. So Rafa wants Sander, he wants you to do the obligatory "it works on my machine."
I just showed it worked on my machine.
That's true. It probably won't work on anyone else's machine.
Not my
But-
problem.
Yeah, no, it works on Sander's machine, which is cool. It's super helpful that it works on his machine. So someone's asking, what is the current state of Scully? It's Leaf Wells. Hold on, it will come up here a second, and I'll put it on the view. But what is the current state of Scully? Does anyone want to grab that, or should I grab it? What do you think?
You might grab it if you want.
Okay, I'll grab it. So Scully, it started in December. That was when we kind of did our first. That was pre-alpha, right? We kind of did a pre-alpha release. Some people jumped on. We did an alpha release in the early of the year. We've progressed throughout the year, and we're now at a beta release. We're coming up on 1.0. So we're at beta 5 today. We support the latest version of Angular. We support Angular 10, 9, and we have a branch that works in 8, but it's kind of an orphan branch. We don't do additional enhancements to it anymore. We're not releasing to it anymore. So if anyone needs 8 support, feel free to reach out to us and we can maybe figure something out. But for now, we're not releasing those to NPM anymore. It's got a lot of support. Leaf, it's at several big companies. Our biggest client that we work the closest with is 1-800-Contacts. They've got it running in production. They've had a lot of success with running Scully in their prod environment. They've seen their Google search results, all their search rankings are boosting, all their Lighthouse scores have shot through the roof. And the really impressive thing, Leaf, about them is they're not running just an Angular app. They're running an AngularJS hybrid. So they've got super stale code in there that still pre-renders fine. And they're getting all the benefits of Jamstack. Because Scully is such a ridiculously forgiving environment to pre-render your app in, they're getting massive benefits. And they literally didn't have to rewrite anything to make it work. Like, we just dropped it in and it just worked for them. And so it was super, super powerful. And then since then they've gone in and they've added a lot more enhancements on top to get even more and more performance gains. They've added caching of their API calls and stuff. So very, very cool. So I would say the state is it's stable. It's approaching 1.0. And yeah, I don't know if you have any more questions, Leaf. Feel free to drop them in the chat. We'll answer them. But as far as feature,
I want to jump in real quick, only because it was mentioned and kind of glossed over. But congratulations to Leaf on the new job.
Oh yeah, Leaf, congrats, man. That's awesome.
Congratulations. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, it's good you got a new job. I wonder if you can say where you're working at. But if not, that's fine.
I have another news from Scully, if you like.
Go ahead.
We are working with the Ionic team together for give a full support to the Ionic components. So now you can run Scully into Ionic, work, but we don't have full support for all the components. So we are working with the Ionic team on that. And I really hope this week we create a plugin for the last change.
The problem we face with Ionic is that Ionic is using web components, real web components that are using Shadow DOM. And as we are scraping the page, we cannot scrape
Shadow DOM.
We cannot scrape Shadow DOM. That's like a hard boundary from the browser. We are working with them so we can really scrape inside of their components so that the pre-rendering will be better.
Awesome.
So news really in the next
Yeah,
day.
so basically some news coming, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That we're going to have full Ionic support, which will be really, really cool. Is there a way to tell their web components to only emulate web components? Okay, and is that the integration? Is we're just going to say, hey, when you integrate with Scully, just emulate Shadow DOM.
Yeah, most components will support it. They had to support this also for other SSR environments. So
yeah, I think it's now Ionic have a special plugin with Express for Universal.
Mm,
The thing is, you don't need to add any new into Ionic for Scully. We will take
Okay.
care about that. So we
Yeah.
are working together for this thing happen. But yes, so we continue with this mining. Don't change your Angular app, and trying to get the magic,
Yeah.
do some stuff and more.
That's cool. So we'll have it sounds like pretty quickly. And the Ionic team is great, right? Max
Yeah.
Lynch,
Yeah.
everyone on the Ionic team.
Yeah, we love them.
Jeff Cross. I mean,
Mike.
Jeff Cross. I mean, Mike.
Yeah, it's the other Jeff Cross.
Yeah, the other Jeff. No. Jeff Cross is the other Mike. Is why.
Yes, true.
Didn't they have that
it's true.
showdown?
It's true.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
Yeah. I think it got answered. So we'll have that.
Last time I checked, Jeff Cross looked more like me.
No, you missed like 1 month or 2.
No. He shaved again.
He shaved again? Yeah, I saw him the other day. He shaved again. He's looking sharp. I mean, he always looks sharp, but yeah. So, well, cool. I guess Leaf landed at JB Hunt, so that's awesome. He wants to know when we support in 11. What's our plans on 11 support, Sander?
As soon as they drop the beta version, we will probably start supporting it.
Okay, cool. So once they go for their first beta release, we'll put out a branch out there and support it. That's cool. Cool.
Just to confirm, Jorge, with the Ionic support that we're looking at, are you or potentially somebody from the Ionic team going to present here during our office hours?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes. I will try to present Mike, but if he can't, I will present. I will create some Ionic demo for that. But yes.
The good thing is we now have a spare mic.
Yeah, I get it.
I'm talking about the other mic, but yes.
Yeah, Hardington.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But yes, we will create a demo and show. We have one dev from Colombia create a page in Ionic, and he implements Scully and have this specific issue with some components. So thanks to him, we can just get the error and work on that. Because in the first thing, when you just check work, but doesn't work in all the components. So we will show a good case and a demo.
What's going on here with the Brady Bunch stuff?
I cannot hear Frosty, but it's mute. It's not my headphones this time.
I'm just rearranging this because it's a new feature in StreamYard. So because I can't rearrange this, I'm going to rearrange this a couple times. Okay?
Oh, okay. If that makes you happy, go ahead.
It makes the people happy.
Yeah, really. They like flashes and stuff like that.
This is why we do it. All right. I don't see anyone asking any more questions. It looks like we lost a couple people on YouTube, so I'm wondering if we just call it a show for the day.
If you don't have questions now, ask any of us on Twitter, ping the Scully account on Twitter, jump in the repo, file an issue. Always happy to answer questions.
Yeah.
I think we have all opened the DMs, so you can ping any of us and say, hey, I have this issue, or I doesn't understand something. Whereas we are here to help.
Yeah.
Also, I'm on the new Angular Discord, and there is a Scully channel in there too.
Cool.
I'm not there like 24/7, but I check the thing.
Yeah. Rafa says, by the way, congrats, Bracco. So.
Oh, thank you. I'm super excited.
Yeah. We're excited to have him here. Yeah, we need the help.
I've never officially been a hero before, so.
That's true.
New boundaries.
Yeah. Before we end, because it's going up on YouTube and a lot of people will see it, I want to share a message that I think the whole Hero Devs organization can get on board with. About 10 years ago, my wife and I, we had to go through this big process. She wanted to become a citizen of the United States, and we went through the naturalization and citizenship process, which was a lot harder than I ever thought it would be. If you've never gone through it, it's way harder than you think. Okay. And so, and in that process, they had her take a test, and one of the questions on the test shocked me. My wife, she was studying. She's like, "Do you know the answer to this?" I was like, "No, I don't know the answer." The question was, "What's the most important right you have as a citizen?" Do you guys know the answer? Like, and this goes, Sander, what's the most important right of a citizen in your country, or Jorge, a citizen in your country? What do you guys think?
Both.
I think the language.
The language?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
If they are moving here, like right now, they have to take an exam to learn the language and stuff like that. And if you know a little bit from the language in a country, it makes it so much easier to get around.
Okay.
It's not in the Netherlands. It's not about speaking, because basically all Dutch people speak English, but all the signs, all the products, everything is in Dutch.
It's in Dutch.
So it makes moving around a lot easier.
Rocco, what do you think?
That wasn't the number 2. That was V for voting. It's the almost way of your First Amendment right to freedom of speech is to be able to vote freely for who you feel is the best candidate.
So I just wanted to, the answer was voting. You see, not everyone gets a chance to live in a country where you get to pick your own leaders. And so that's a pretty cool thing that we get to do. And so I wanted to talk to the people who do get a chance to live in a country where you get a vote. And I want to just kind of share this message that I do think that is your most important, right? It's how you get to have feedback on what you care about. And it's how you get to tell your leaders, hey, I want you to do these things by voting for people who care and things. And so I wanted to share with everyone that it's important to exercise your right to vote. And it's important to use that right to vote to help others in the world who may not have the same opportunities that you have for numerous reasons. And so a lot of countries are coming up on election seasons, or they're spread throughout the year. In the United States, election season is coming up. So anyone listening, I just wanted to share a social message of, hey, don't forget to use your right to vote and to influence the place you live to help people out how you can. So that's all I want to do. Share that message.
It's so normal and ingrained in our society that it didn't even pop up in my mind but it is like one of the most important things you can do. Vote.
Yeah. So anyway, don't forget to vote. Don't forget to share your voice and to use your freedom to pick your leaders. So anyway, with that, I guess we'll end 10 minutes early. If anyone has any questions, please reach out to us and let us know how we can help. We're here to help. If your company just needs half a day or a few hours of the Scully core team to get up and going, just let us know. We're here to rock any way we can to help you get on Scully. So anyway, let us know. Thank you, and we'll catch you next week.
Bye.
See you.